Every other Monday, your girl Michelle C, aka DJ Make a Move, is a part of another podcast, Opposing Perspectives, with three of my great friends. Tune in now.
I see you, Lashandra.
I see you.
You have to say it like that?
Apparently he did, so.
New look, new address.
Oh.
I have to address her differently.
Oh, that's because I just got out of the shower. It's wet. Somebody needs to come blow dry my hair. Can we talk about the marriage expectation that I will find a husband that will blow dry my hair for me?
I'll be angry, just scout.
Angry's, yes. Angry's my scout.
Yep.
All the above.
That's what we want.
Every day.
Yeah, y'all, boy. I know Michelle has a crazy list. I don't think I've ever heard yours, Sean.
Of, like, marriage expectations?
I was
Yeah.
supposed to
For
take
a
notes.
partner? Oh, my list isn't crazy. It's normal.
Oh, I know I'm supposed to take notes. I guess I need to make a list then.
You already have a list. I don't know where Sir William is. He probably thinks he's still in that other time
do.
zone. He's up there,
and then himself.
He's a PK now, a politician's kid. So he's in a different little time zone. So I think they're still up in Detroit right now celebrating
Oh yeah,
Retirement. Her dad retired, right?
yeah,
Right.
Daddy's retirement and his announcement that he's running for governor.
Oh,
Who is?
He said 2 minutes. Yeah, his father-in-law is running for governor.
Oh, I thought you meant Will was. Okay, got you. Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
you never know. With this crew, you never know.
this is true. This is true.
Texas?
Who knows?
Wow, that'd be crazy. Yeah, it's almost time for me to gear up to run again. So
Okay.
we'll see what happens this time.
I still have my Ron Walker T-shirt for support. I'm not in your county, but I was spreading the word.
Still got to represent wherever you are. I wish I wouldn't have put a year on there so I could reuse them, but
Yeah.
Work on
dang.
evergreen content. Evergreen
Man.
content.
it's
Well,
all
we
good.
do have somebody that has a T-shirt thing. We can put some glitter on that mug and stamp the new year. You know what I'm saying?
Put a 2 over it. Bet.
That's right.
Well, we're wearing our other T-shirts today, so there's that.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, y'all fit them and you got them.
Yeah, I got mine.
Yeah.
I got mine this morning.
You are the
You
only
just haven't
one.
seen this?
Yours fits the best. I was so afraid everybody was not going to fit. Okay, let's go ahead and get this conversation started. Will said 2 minutes. I'm about to do something I never do, and I'll be right back.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Never do that, but today.
Clearly. Well, while he's gone, Michelle. Speaking of
Sure.
T-shirts, I need one of yours for Vegas. We're going to the Usher show, and I want to wear. I think I want your Dirty South one, so I'm gonna put it in order. So.
Oh, perfect. Yes, ma'am. You can do that at artistperiod.com. If anybody's wondering what she's talking about, if you go to artistperiod.com, you can get some of my merch. I have different T-shirts and trendy designs right there.
Excellent. So look at
So,
that.
and what was your last podcast about since he just ghosted us for 2.2 seconds?
We talked about our last podcast was about Nick Cannon and all those things with all those people.
Oh, okay.
So encourage
There.
people to check that out. If you look at you, look, you put your shirt on too. Look at us, coordinated. Love it.
There. So I didn't know if y'all want to wear them or not. What? Okay, so I'm in it. I know Will's not going to be in his because his was sent to Texas and he's in Detroit. But that dude is still not on here.
I apologize. Everybody, be quiet.
Exactly. That sounds like a fake bark.
Sorry.
That's him fucking Will for being late.
Okay.
There he is.
All right, and we're going to get it started. Why does your dog sound fake, though, for real?
I have 2 now, and they're big. And
Ooh, where's the other one? Who's the other one?
let's not talk about it.
Okay.
long, terrible story. But I have 2 dogs now. And one is 8 years old. The other one is 3 years old, and the 3-year-old is a hot mess express. So
Oh, wow.
I'm a golden retriever now.
A golden retriever.
To go with my pit
What's
bull.
up?
Those go together.
Welcome, William.
Man,
Good to see you. We've been talking about you.
what's going on, man? So it's been a long week. I've been out in these streets, man. So
No, I told him you're like a politician's kid now, so your responsibility there.
it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. Anyway,
All right, let's get into it. So Michelle, tell them who you are. Sean, Will, and we'll get it cracking.
All right, I'm Michelle C. of Kandid Kisses TV. You can follow me at Kandid Kisses TV, KANDID KISSES TV, and on YouTube at Kandid Kisses TV.
Awesome. I'll go. I'm LaShondra Cordier. I'm one half of the Grown Ass Dating podcast. You can follow us at grownassdating.com. We're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram as well at Grown Ass Dating.
Am I next?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You are.
Will Jordan. You can follow me at Renaissance Will 404. Podcast coming soon.
There we go. Of course, I'm Arthur Walker, and today we're going to talk about marriage, the expectations versus reality. So last week, I know we started to get into that a little bit. This Negro right here, William, why is this always your eating time? No matter what. Will's like, wait, I got a live at 9, save the food for them. Now my dogs are barking.
You're not alone, Will.
It's oranges, man. I've been fasting all day.
Prime eat time. Yeah.
So you eat real fast and you get on the podcast. Okay. That's what's up.
Can y'all hear my dogs too?
No.
Just my loud ass. Now. Yeah. That one.
Yeah. So they're competing with yours, I guess. Anyway, getting into it. So I know Michelle has a crazy list when it comes down to expectations of like what she wants in a man. But
that is not true. That's what you assume.
Michelle's like, he has to cut grass, paint houses, be able to fix, do all this stuff before she'll ever even consider him.
Oh my God.
Oh Lord, I hope this don't mess up today.
Oh man, what's going on? Oh, we're all buffering.
Yeah, no. Am I the only one not buffering?
You're the man. The way your face is set up right now.
It's hilarious. Your face was hilarious.
You look like you're in so much pain. You look.
Am I buffering?
No, you're good now. But before you were so much pain.
Oh, okay.
With this weather, man, I don't know what's gonna go on. It's been crazy weather all day.
Oh.
So anyway, Sean, please kick us off.
Well, and I think the question is first of all, what's your question? Because
I know there isn't even really a question. There's just
the list that I have for a partner isn't necessarily my expectation for marriage. It's my expectation for my partner.
yeah.
While there are similarities, that can be a little different. And I think I'm a firm believer that expectation is the killer of all things. That you need good communication before you live in your expectations, because I think that creates an unrealistic experience for people, and you're being driven by your desires and want for something without actually actively communicating that to your partner. So I think my question is like fundamentally like, what is your expectation for marriage in your marriage relationship versus my expectation for my partner? Because I think those can be different. So what were you actually asking?
Talking marriage. So you started going into some stuff last week when we were kind of talking about this is what we think marriage is going to be like versus when you actually get into it. And I know Will has a lot of good stuff to add to that. But it's like when you get into marriage, a lot of us walk in with this fantasy view of what marriage is going to be like. I'm going to find this person, they're going to complete me, and we're going to build this great empire together, and we're going to complement one another, and everything's going to get so much better. But you actually get married, and sometimes things get worse. And you have to actually put forth a lot more work to build this marriage than you were putting forth in building yourself.
Right.
So now you're not just building for one, you're building for two.
Right. Well, and I think to your point about that, if we're talking about the expectation of marriage, like you said, a lot of people get into marriage with these beliefs, but like, what is that based on? Like, what is that modeled on? And I know when I got married, I think for context, I have been married and divorced. I got married, and my only like baseline expectation was that I don't want to be like my parents. That was my only thing going in. I was like, I don't want to be like my parents, because my parents were not, I loved them, but they were not a good, healthy model of a successful relationship or successful marriage. But that was my only like baseline for real, other than, you know, friends and others who would maybe let me into their home and I could kind of see how the relationships were, or other friends of mine that were married. So I think the root of what is the like foundation for your expectation and beliefs about marriage has to be looked at. Like, you know, I think a lot of people think marriage is what they see on TV or what they see in their home life or whatever, but those might not be the best examples. And I think I was striving very hard to not be in that space because I knew that my example was unhealthy. And so I worked very hard at doing not the opposite of that, but doing something that was as healthy as possible. And it just was, I was unsuccessful in that. But my expectations were pretty, like, I knew marriage was hard. I knew it was a lot of work because I watched my parents go through it. I watched my parents do it to this day. And, you know, and they made the choice to stay in their relationship despite the toxicity. And, but I knew that that wasn't what I wanted for me or my own marriage. And so I had to create that expectation for myself. What that wasn't recognizing that the things that I was using to frame that expectation were not good models.
So what was it actually like when you got married? How did it differ from what you thought it would be like?
I think the difference was that I believed in my spirit and my heart that love was enough to sustain things. That love could get you through all the bad. And I think that's the part that was a big misconception for me, that I knew it was work.
That's youthful thinking.
Right. I knew it was work, but I thought if I loved you hard enough, all this would go away and we would get better and it would work out. And so then when we started doing the work and it wasn't lining up with that, I think that was the biggest misconception for me. I thought if I just loved hard enough, I loved you hard enough, I loved everything hard enough, I put all my all into our marriage and it was going to be fine.
Well, what do you think about that?
I mean, I wrote a couple notes down, even when you just said that. When you just said a new marriage was hard, well, that's an expectation too.
That's
you
true.
know, when you come into something with an expectation of it's going to be hard, there's just another posture you have versus thinking that something's going to be easy.
Right.
I'm not saying, you know, one is better than the other, but
and I want to correct that. I didn't think it was going to be hard. I thought it was going to be work, and I think there's a distinction.
I mean,
it's something you have to work at.
Same thing. So, I mean, just like if your parents were entrepreneurs, right? You can have the idea of, dang, you know, this thing is going to be a struggle, this thing's going to be work. Or you can have the thought of like, you know, this thing is easy. Like I come up with ideas and I just make them, right? So expectations are real. You know, they're so much deeper when you start to really like go into why you expect the things that you expect from someone else. That's one thing I kind of got from that. Other thing I wrote down was the anti cannot be the goal, right? Like you can when you're like going through something, anything, like when you're going, I don't want to be like them, because I thought the same thing when I got married. It was like I just want to be my parents. And I just didn't want to be broke. Specifically, I didn't want to be broke, right? And I was like, you know, this is what my podcast is about. But I didn't want to be broke. So, but I didn't know that anti is not a goal. Just because I don't want to be that doesn't mean that I actually have a clear goal of what my finances are supposed to look like or what I would like them to look like as I get into a marriage.
Right.
So I think that marriage counseling is supposed to do this, like clarify your expectations. You know, but my premarital counseling in my first marriage was horrible. I mean, no shade to my pastors, but it was trash. You know, because it wasn't clear. We didn't clearly define what we both were expecting. It was just anti. It was like, I don't want to be my parents. I want to be like my parents. Oh my God, let's make it work. What the hell does that mean?
We're gonna have to change this to shady views, because every week somebody just being shady as hell. But
Well,
definitely petty, right? Definitely petty.
I think something else that was really good is that it is like, you know, marriage counseling is supposed to do some of those things, and I think it's also when you get it. So like we didn't do premarital counseling.
Yeah.
We were both. I was in therapy before we got married. Okay. One of the conditions of us getting married, and not want to say condition is a strong word. When we started having problems in our marriage, one of the things I suggested was that he also get counseling, and then we started seeing somebody together.
Stay tuned. Part 2 drops Monday.